The 22nd topic for the end of term 3 exam is factoring. This is to solve polynomials by factoring. Looks very simple, but there can be many different types of questions in this. 1 to 15, we will solve each type of them. But there is one more important thing, that is the formulas, the kanun. It is very important for you to remember these. If you're summing two cubes, a cube plus b cube, it would be a plus b bracket a squared minus ab plus b squared. If it is a cube minus b cube, it will be a minus b. Look over here. If it's plus this small term over here, a plus b will be plus. If it's minus, it'll be minus. Now, if it is minus over here, then inside the other terms, a squared plus ab plus b squared will all be positive. Whereas look over here, this is positive, but over here you will have negative when you multiply the a and b term. So this is it. Now, a will vary. It can be 2x, 3z or anything. Based on that, you must write. And there are a few more over here. Uh, Basic formulas, some of this you might have known already. We will come across most of this, how to group and everything. You don't need to worry. These two very important, and the perfect square you must always remember. A plus b the whole square, a minus b the whole square, a square minus b square. These are the 5 formulas. Please take a note of these, because this is not only now, every time in your next grade or in the grade 12 you will have to know. Maybe this and this may not be used so much in later on, but the others will be used. Now then, we need to factor each polynomial. If the polynomial cannot be factored, write prime. Now look over here, 8x cubed 125y to the power 12. Now, when you look at this, look at the highest degree, that is 12. Look at the lowest degree, it is 3. So what you must understand in your mind is, you need to get in terms of cube, because then we can use the cube formula. Just now we saw, right? Sum of cubes or difference of cubes formula. So now how can you resolve this? Since these numbers, most of the time, it will be much easier to predict. Now here, 2 cube is 8. X cube plus, what is 125? It is 5 cube. 5 times 5 is 25. 125, 25 times 5 is 125. Then lastly, we have y12. We can't write this, right? We need to have cube outside, because everything needs to be cubed outside. So inside, try to adjust. 12 divided by 3 would be 4. So y to the power 4 whole power 3 would make it 12. So this is how you simplify it. This is very, very important. Now you can see over here, you have just, see, this can be written as 2x the whole cube. Even over here, you can write 5y to the power 4 the whole cube. Why? Because both is having cube. What is having cube? This factor and this factor. So you can write it inside the bracket, because both are cubed. Now that's how we get this statement. Now we can use the formula, isn't it? Just simply apply the formula which we had just seen a while ago. It is, I think so, the formula, okay, it's sum of two cubes. I'll write the formula. It is a plus b, because there is plus, then we must write a square minus ab plus b square. Very, very important. A plus b is 2x plus 5y, and 2x square minus 2x into 5y to the power 4 plus 5y to the power 4 the whole square. So that is it. Now then, you can rearrange and solve what you can. 2 square is 4, x square will remain as it is. Now multiply 2 times 5 is 10, and xy to the power 4. And what about 4 to the power 2? Look carefully. Whenever you're having power and you have power over power, again this power, this exponents are multiplied. Okay, you're not taking power of 4 square means 4 to the power 6. No, you're just multiplying this power 8. Whereas if it was y square y cube, then you just add the powers, it would be y5. Here, if it would have been plus y square, then it would have been y to the power 6. This is the difference. You must understand this. Since over here y power 4 whole power 2, we multiply the powers and get this answer. Now, that's it. Basically, that's the simplification. You can't go further. You have already simplified, so that's enough. Similarly, you can try this problem. Now, here, okay, this is a little bit tricky because you might think, okay, we have done this, right? What we will do, we will take y whole power 2 the whole cube. Yes, you can do it like that, but then the 64 is a problem. What's the problem with 64? You need to write it in terms of 4, and then again you need to simplify these squares and it'll be much complicated. Instead of that, now you can do one thing. We know 8 now, sorry, since 8 is there, it is very easy to remember 8 into 8 is 64. Since it's a huge number, it's not a small number like 2 to the power 3 or 3 to the power 3. No, since this is 8, we will square it because 64 is a perfect square. So we will square this, right? 8 square y to the power 3 the whole square minus, since it's minus, one more reason why we use square. Now if it was not minus, if it was plus, you had to take it by cubic method. There is no other way. Since there is minus, we know there is a formula a square minus b square. This reduces the power and that is why we need it. Now y to the power 3 whole 2, all you're doing now is using this identity. Can you see? Now here this can be written as 8x the whole square, that is a minus y cube the whole square. Now this can be written, a is 8x cube, okay, I forgot the cube over here, 8x cube plus y cube, and same thing 8x cube minus y cube. This is a formula which we had to remember. And then now you can use the differences of the square and the sum of squares. That means this can be used like this. See, 2x whole cube. Why? Because 2 to the power 3 is 8. Now then, apply this, 2 to the power 3 plus y. You can, instead of 8, you can write it as 2x to the power 3. And then what do? All you need to do is use the formula sum and differences of cubes. What happens? Here, a plus b, a square minus 2 times ab plus b square. Again over here, a minus b, and then a square minus plus 2xy plus b square. So this is the most simplified form, and you can't simplify further. You stop over there. So main thing is, given question needs to be simplified. Even if you don't get the exact simplification, it is fine. It is writing. We'll understand. So write as much as you can. Try to simplify further as much as you can. Okay? And this is the thing. Now then, these are for you. You need to solve them by yourself and then check for the answers. It is very simple. Some of them, similar ones, we have done it already. Now, try it by yourselves and then we will look into the other problems. These are the answers over here. Okay, so these are all the answers. Please solve it by yourself and then check for the answers. You can see there's a repeating pattern. Whenever you're cube directly, it is very easy because this is the pattern. Now over here, since it's square over here, it's squared. It'll be in terms of square you can write. So there's a different sorry, no, you can write it as cube. Over here, what you do is you remove x out. See, x can be removed out. So it'll be 64x power 3 plus y power 3. The whole thing multiplied by x. So you can easily solve this. We have done this already, similar problem. And then you can arrive at that solution. Then you can multiply the x inside. Similarly, please do solve all of this. And then we will continue in the next type of problem. So these are the answers. Let's go to the next. Now, 1 second over here, guys. If you look carefully, see, these coefficients can never ever be resolved. That's the problem. That's why it's prime. Look over here, 8, 24, 64, or there is no coefficients. Whenever they give you number, it will be simple and easy that you can resolve it. Say 8, it is 2 to the power 3. 64, it'll be for, x will be removed out, so it'll be 4 to the power 3. So this is what I'm saying. You need to have, or you can reduce it to, 4 to the power 3. That's the thing over here. Then you will solve it. See, if at all you cannot reduce the power, this is not possible, these coefficients. So you just tell it's prime. It's not possible over there. Okay, we will see this another type of problem. Here they have told factor this. Factor 14ax square minus 16by plus 20cy. This is all the equation. If the polynomial cannot be factored, write prime. Now over here, this is the original expression. What we are doing is, this is a very easy one. You can see x square, x square, x square, y. Let's split those terms. Let's group them into like terms. Wherever x square is there, we have grouped, and wherever y is there, we have grouped. And now remove something common out. How do you remove common? See, if you remove the 7 over here, 7. 7 2 times is 14, 7 4 times is 28, 7 5 times is 5. And over here, x square is common in all, so remove out x square. And then over here, the same thing. Say y is common in all, remove that, and 4 is common in out, remove that. Simplify these two terms as much as possible. Now you can see these two terms are absolutely same, only the inner terms, the coefficients are different. So basically you're removing the same terms again out. The division symbol is, the minus sign divides the two parts. And now when you remove this common out, what is remaining? 7x squared minus 4y. And over here we have 2a plus 4b minus 5y. So this is the thing. This is it. We have simplified this. We are just trying to simplify as much as possible, grouping like terms, removing the terms out, or something like that. So that is how we can solve these. Now this is a simple one. Over here as well, x square and x square, group them together, remove it out, y square separately. So please do these by yourself. Over here you can see a cube, a cube, a cube, b cube, b cube, b cube. So it depends. It's not only x, it can be y as well, or any other alphabet. So this is how we solve it. And then once you solve it, please do check your answers over here. So, okay. Okay, now then. Okay, my presentation is getting hanged a bit. Okay, we are back over here. This is another type of problem. We just now did just simplifying, factoring and simplifying. Now we will do solving, basically finding the x value. This is again simple because you have done this before as well. In calculator, you can directly do this and check the answers, but let's see how we do it naturally. Over here, write this, and then what do we do is make them into two separate terms. We split them up. See, now over here these are small degrees, so let's split them up. It's common. See, 9 and 27 have 3 common and everything. Over here you have big powers, so x cube, x squared, that's separated. And then now here, let's see what is common. Very good. That can be, very good in the sense where it is repeating in both the places. Sorry, I was not getting the right word, which is repetitive term. You can see over here, x to the power 2 is there in both these, because x cube and x square both has x to the power 2. So, and over here 4 is also the common term, so you write 4x square bracket x plus 3. Same thing over here. What is the maximum common factor? That is minus 9 only. So when you remove minus 9 common out, what is going to happen? You're removing 9 over here, minus 9. It goes, x is remaining. And over here, you're remaining with positive 3 because minus 9 is divided. So that's the thing. And then we are just grouping them and we equate all this to 0. Now over here you can write it as 2x whole square minus 3 square. It will be 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3. And over here we are remaining with x plus 3. Now these can be equated to 0 and solved. Okay, I will just tell you how to solve this. Here you need to split each term and equate it to 0. Split in the sense, write this term separately, make it equal to 0. The next term equal to 0 and this term. And then all you need to do is equate. See, all these are equated. Find x. Take this to the other side. It's going to be x is equal to minus 3 by 2. That is negative 1.5. Why is that so? Because 3 goes to the other side, it becomes minus 3 and divided by 2. Same thing over here. It goes to the other side, it becomes plus 3 divided by 2, and lastly it's minus 3. These will be the x values. You can see over here, minus 3 by 2, plus 3 by 2, and minus 3. You can double check these answers from your calculator. Mode 5, not 3, it is mode 5 and 4. You can try this by yourselves. So now this is how we can do this type of problems. Then it is not over. This is, yeah, very basic. You need to try and group them and then get these factors and equate it to 0. That is zero product property at the last we did. Now, that's the answers. Please do try these by yourselves. Now, you can do it in various different methods. Now, this one over here, you can remove a common. You're remaining with a squared minus 9a plus 14. Now, inside is quadratic. You know how to solve quadratic. Now, from quadratic, you can easily get the two factors and then a. So, answer would be a equals 0 and the other two factors. So this is how we can do it. Try these by yourselves. Now here it's very simple, but please remember to take this inside. It'll be x cubed minus 3x squared and then simplify it. You can remove x squared common out and then solve it. All the answers are over here. So this is it. So one thing, let me just tell you what happens over here. You can take this to the other side. It'll be x cubed minus 3x squared equals 0. Take x squared common out. X squared is outside. It'll be x minus 3 equals 0. What is the answer? X is equal to x squared is equal to 0. X is equal to positive 3. So now this basically reduces to x equals 0, but you must know there is double answer. The 0 is 2 times. It is x is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. Why is that? Because it's x squared. But we write only once, 0 and positive 3. So similarly, please do solve the others. Over here, you can remove b common out and then solve it. Here also, t is removed common out and then you can solve it. If they're asking just the solutions, uh, don't just do it in calculator. Do the methods, what we just now did, and then solve it because it's a writing part. Now, this is still the 14th. Now, let's go to the last type because the last type is a real world problem. Now let's look over here in the figure. The small cube is 1/4 the length of the larger cube. Can you see the small cube is 1/4 the larger cube? Or over here, since the figure is given, they have told this is 4x, this is x. The small cube is 1/4. That means if this is 1/4 x, the other one is, this one will be x. Okay, other one would be x. Now you can multiply both the sides by 4. This cancels. You will get 4x over here and this will be x. It's the same thing. And then the volume of the figure is given as 1701 cubic centimeters. What are the dimensions of the cube? Now here, see, look at this. The small cube is the hollow space. So the entire cube, if you just cube this or find the volume, 4x into 4x into 4x, that will be 4x the whole cube. You'll get the entire volume. Okay, entire thing. But you do want this hollow space. So remove that out. What do you do is subtract it by x cube. That must be given as 1701. Now you can easily solve it up. So over here, what's going to happen? 64 x cube minus x cube. Now over here, you can just solve it how? 64 x cube minus x cube. This is 1, right? 64 minus 1 is 63 x cube. Now take 63 to the other side. You're dividing this by 63. 1701 divided by 63 is 27. Last, take cube root on both these sides. You can easily understand 3 cube is 27. So if you take cube root over here, the answer would be 3. Or you can, okay, now over here, this is done in a huge method, but instead of that, all that, You know there'll be only one answer over here because others are all imaginary. What you can do is x cube equals 27. And what is x? X is basically cube root over here. Not square root, cube root. It'll be x equals 3. Okay, it'll be positive 3. That would be the answer. Now, even if you solve it other ways, you're going to get the imagined number 3 is the only real solution. So, answer is 3. And now, very important thing. This is 3. What is the dimension of the big one? 3 times 4, it'll be 12 over here. So dimension of the cubes, both the cubes, the small one is 3, the big one is 4. You need to find the x value and then substitute and solve. So that is how we do it. Now there is real world over here as well. Let us see this. What have they asked over here? A modern table is constructed with 4 legs made of concrete cubes with cube-shaped notches. Okay. Define one or more variable and write an expression that represents the volume of the one table leg. Okay, I just now, we just now saw the answer, but over here, how we write this is, it's very simple. Now, they have just told, see, this is one main leg, this is of concrete cube, and this is uh, modern table is constructed concrete cube, and these are the notches. So you can see over here, if you look carefully, this concrete cube is the one, see, in gray color, that is the concrete cube. And there is a small cube, hollow cube, that is the notch. So how do you write it in different variables? That is right, take a length, say for example, this over here, this length, you can take it as x of the concrete cube because it's a cube. So all the dimensions are same. What does cube mean? Cube means all the sides are same, right? This is a cube. Okay, the dimensions are same. Okay, that's okay. This is okay. uh Let me just go back over here. We have a beautiful cube. What happens? Length, width, and height is the same thing. Sorry, height, length, and width is the same dimension. So that is what over here. If you assume this to be x, and then what do we get? X, x, and x. So this is x cube for the concrete block, but there is a hollow space. So let's take this hollow space notch as y. So it'll be y minus y minus y. So it is minus y cube. That's it. So this is how we get it. Now let's look into the second type of second over here. Here it says Marisol determined that she will use 12,636 cubic inches of concrete to construct the 4 table legs. If the sides of the notches are 40% of the sides of the legs, how long are the sides of the legs? Now it's very simple, but you need to understand everything properly. First of all, they have told this concrete cubes, right? And this notches together for all the 4 legs will be so much. Okay? And they have told this notch, can you see this notches, right? They are 0.4%, sorry, 40%. That means 0.4 times. If the total length is 10, this will be 4. So that is what it means. So how can we understand better? We can write, see now this is x cube. Now this was just for the legs, right? It was just for the concrete leg. Now notches are excluded. Now we are including everything because for the entire thing, for now x cube and y cube was there. Sorry, let me write y cube. Y, this y length would be equal to 0.4 times x because that is what they have told, 40% of the x, right? 40% of it. So y will be equal to 0.4x. Now a new equation would be x cube plus, I'll tell you why it's plus in a minute, 0.4 x cube. 0.4, it's y, the whole cube. That must be equal to what? Now, why is this plus? See, they have told to construct the 4 legs of the sides of the... Okay, now this is the total thing for the entire leg. So you have to include everything. They're not just asking, the only this, say, excluding the notches or anything. Over here, they are told what is with the cube notch. They have told, separate. Where is it? One second. volume of the table leg. Over here, they are told to exclude it, like in the sense we have to write as an equation. So concrete cubes and the notches separately. But now we are dealing with the total volume, isn't it? This is the total volume. But now this is the total volume for all the four legs. How would you find the volume for each leg? So 12636 is basically for the entire thing. You must divide this by 4. What is the answer? 12636 divided by 4 would give you 3159. So 3159 is for each block. And this dimension, what we are writing, is for each block. So that is what we are going to do. 3159. Now don't directly use your calculator and solve. You can use it, I believe. Yeah, you can. We can just try x cube plus 0.4x, close, open the brackets over here, and let's use the cube, equals 3159. Shift and solve, you must get the answer. It is 15.19. Okay, it's very close because it's, you can't take half or something, so approximate it, because you can't take less concrete. If you take 14, it would be an error, because whenever you're constructing something, you would rather take more than less. So this would be the most appropriate answer. But the exact one is over here. Now this is not over. How would you solve manually without the calculator directly? So it's very simple. X cube over here. Now let's see 0.4 cube. That is 0.4 times 0.4 is 0.16 times 0.4 will be 0.064. X cube equals 3159. You must write the step, and then this is x cube plus, okay, let me just do it. This is 1x cube plus 0.0064. That would mean this is 1.064x cube equals 3159. Now all you need to do is you should write in steps, take this to the other side. It'll be 3159 divided by 1.064, that is equal to 2968. But that is not over, that is x cube. You need to take the radical of both, cube root, sorry, of both of this answer basically after dividing this, and then the answer would be shift and answer. I'll just put the answer is so much. So over here I have not done the step. This will go to the other side. Basically this will be 1.064, and then the x value will be 14.5. That is almost to 15. So this is how you basically solve this problem. Now understand what is being asked and then solve it. Only concept over here would be understanding it's 0.4x. That is the thing, and then you can easily solve it up. So that's the thing. Over here, sorry, the same question is being repeated over here. I forgot to delete it over there. But anyways, so that's the same thing. You need to divide this total volume by 4, and then you would get the answer. So make sure you understand, read the question properly, put the correct variables, and then solve it. Don't directly do it in the calculator. This is the writing part. Please make sure you solve it by writing. That's the end of this topic. There were 15 questions and 3 different types. Please go through each type properly because they are not same. They might vary. So please go through them properly, write and practice, and then be thorough with it. The next video would be the final video for this end of term 3 exam.